Hey guys, we're back. This time we're going to be replacing this fuel rail along with the injectors. Ignition coil pack kit for the R35 went on there great. HKS wall valve went on great. So now we're going to put the injector rail and the injectors. And today we're going to be using the FIC 1000cc injector kit. This is it right here. Really nice color. I've had a lot of good reviews out of them, so we're going to try them out. And then we've got a Radium fuel rail, which a lot of people seem to love. So it was really good for the price. Wasn't looking for anything too flashy, so nice black rail. And then we've got the injectors, and then we've got the fittings for that fuel rail that we're going to be putting on there. Also, FIC offers an adapter kit. That way we don't have to cut into the actual harness, which is really nice because I don't like wiring at all. So this should be just a plug and play ordeal, which is really nice. So shout out to them for that. Alright guys, so to start off, we're gonna take out the fuel pump fuse, which is inside underneath the steering wheel where the fuse box is. We're going to take out the one that says ignition, and the one to the right it says 15 alpha, or 15 amp I should say, and that way we can release the pressure of the lines. Now we're going to just try and turn it over to get all those lines cleared out. So now there's 3 electrical connectors in the back of the fuel rail. So that's the front and this is the back. It's going to be 1, 2, and then 3 that we're going to disconnect. I went ahead and moved this hose as well, just to get out of the way. And then next we're going to take off this vacuum hosing that goes into the fuel pressure regulator. So we're going to need a Phillips just to loosen up some screws, and the one on top. Alright, after that we're pretty much just going to pull out the retaining little pins on the injectors. I'm going to be using these little tweezer things. I got a Harbor Freight, a little pack of them, come in handy. But yep, we're going to remove all 6 of them. Alright, and here you go. All 6 of them taken out. Now we're going to use a 12mm socket wrench to remove the 2 M8 by 1.25mm mounting bolts into washers that are holding these on. One there, and one back here. Super simple. Alright, now that we got these 2 bolts out, we should be able to just pull that rail out along with the injectors. Alright, now we should be able to just unplug all the injectors without an issue. Yep, and there we go. Alright guys, so got them all out. It was really simple, a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. If you're going to reuse your old injectors, make sure you take the O-rings off and you install the ones that come with it, because Nissan puts some 10.45 size injectors, which is a real odd size. These are 11mm, that way they'll fit on into the rail without a problem. But yeah, if you're using your old ones, just make sure you use the O-rings that came with the kit. But in my case, we're going to be installing the FIC 1000 injectors, so everything's brand new and they're ready to go. So let's see how it goes. Also, for just now, I'm going to be using the old freaking fuel pressure regulator. So we're going to have to take this off the old rail. I did have to soak it in some WD-40. It was pretty stuck on there, but just make sure you get the right fitting cross tip screwdriver to get it out, so that way you don't mess up the threads on there. Also, the fuel rail does not come with the fitting kit. The fitting kit's like extra $75. So whenever if you do order this fuel rail, make sure you get the fitting kit that goes with it. Also, we're going to go ahead and lubricate some of this stuff out. That way we don't damage some of the seals as we put them in. Alright, the next step is going to remove these OEM feed and return lines. So they're practically mounted right here. There's 3 bolts that go underneath the intake manifold. They're 10 millimeter. 1, 2, 3. I was able to just get a ratchet wrench and then just get them off. It was really simple. Yep, the lines are really stuck on there, so I grabbed a set of these and just kind of grabbed onto the line and twisted it until it finally came off. So that's going to be pretty simple to take off. We're also going to take off the this hose that went onto that little OEM assembly that goes to the fuel filter. We're going to take that off, just the hose itself, and then the return line that goes onto the hard line down there. It's kind of hard to see. It's right there. We're going to take that off as well because we've got extra line, or new line, that's going to go into the actual fuel rail, and I'll show you out here in a minute. Alright guys, so this is what the rail is looking like right now. So the back of the fuel rail is actually going to be your feed, and the front of the rail is now going to be your return. So let me show you what that's going to look like with the fuel filter. So let me rephrase this. So this fuel filter, you see how the outlet, as in the top part, is facing forward. We're actually going to have to loosen that and make it face backwards, because that hose that we're going to be installing is going to be going from the fuel filter back here to right there, to the actual the rear of the fuel rail, and then it's going to come back here and it's going to return into that fitting down there. So it's going to be a little bit different, but we'll get there. Alright, so we got the fuel filter loose and we've got it facing the rear. So now I just have to start hooking stuff up. Alright, and this is the nice setup. It looks so much nicer in person than in the video, but it's good to go. I actually took out the OEM O-rings that the injectors came with, and I put the Radium to make sure that they fit as they should, and they're nice and snug, and I don't think we'll have an issue getting them on there. So let's go ahead and put this on. Alright, so we've got the fuel rail and the injectors on there. We still have to run our lines, our feed and return lines, and hook them up and see how it goes. Alright, so we've got all the lines hooked up right here, along with the fuel filter, and then the rear line that goes to the rear of the fuel rail. And now we're going to get these adapter kits put on. That way we don't have to cut into our wiring harness. There'll be a direct fit to our new injectors. That way if you ever need to go back to OEM for whatever reason, it's just disconnect and plug and play. Alright, everything's installed, everything seems secure. We're just about to put that fuse back in, cycle the pump a few times, get everything pressurized, and let's make sure there's no leaks. Alright guys, well, everything seems to be in working condition as of right now. Still waiting on a couple parts for the fuel pump, but she's running great. Fuel rail looks great, injectors run great, adapters look great, but there you go.